Good morning. My name is Graham McLaughlin, Sales Director for Simply Inkjet, and I'll be walking you through some slides related to pre-coating equipment and some of the results that we've experienced over the last few years. And I'll be supported by Susan Bailey from Michelman on the coatings and chemical formulations. First of all, who are Simply Inkjet? We're based in Leeds, which is a city in the north of England in the UK. The founders of the company have a lot of experience in inkjet technologies and custom integrations. My partner was the MD at a large specialist printing business. Around 4 years ago, he designed and built and then integrated a Precoater, and I'll share some short video clips of that in operation today. The aim there was to integrate it in line and use standard substrates with his industrial inkjet system, which was actually the Kodak Prosper. We also provide, in conjunction with our US partner Colordyne, custom integrations with inkjet based on Memjet Duralink technology. If you want more information, you can reach me through our website at www.simplyinkjet.com. First question really is, why use primers? The primer itself provides an anchor for the ink pigment onto standard substrates which haven't been optimized for inkjet printing. They don't generally provide a suitable surface for inkjet water-based pigment dispersions. Depending on the application and the quality required, it can be advantageous to use inline, where the pre-coater is integrated into a manufacturing process, or offline to prepare stock for downstream processing. What this does is eliminates the need for special stocks and inventory, and simplifies and standardizes the process, which has an effect on lead time, stock control, overall, giving the business more flexibility to respond to customer demands. Effective pre-coating and priming can, without doubt, expand inkjet applications and create new standalone or hybrid print possibilities. I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. First of all, if we look on the left-hand side, what you can see are two comparisons of print results with and without primer. So this has the primer, this doesn't have the primer, and the same here, no primer and no primer. And what you can see on the surface is this orange peel effect. It's where the pigment and the inks just pool on the surface. They don't properly adhere to it. And if you look here, you'll see that the ink has a much smoother laydown in both of these results. And it also contributes to requiring a lower ink volume to achieve optical density. If you look slightly to the right, you can see a direct comparison here of not only the density that can be achieved with the same ink volume. So that allows us to bring ink volumes down, allows us to reduce ink consumption, which effectively saves us money. And this example here, it's showing you on maybe a more absorbent stock what actually happens when you print with inkjet without a primer. So you can see the kind of jagged surface that you get around the text itself. It's where the ink is flowing down the longer fibers of the absorbent stock. If you prime it, what you can see is how sharp the text then becomes. And actually, again, you will use less ink to achieve the right optical density, which gives you a lot of other potential advantages in potentially speed and image quality, of course. I'm going to show you the pre and post. It can be configured as a post coater. In this example here, it's configured as a pre-coater, and this has an inline integration. So this is complete from reel stand all the way through to finished product. But due to the customer's desire to keep a lot of the finishing confidential in what he does, we can only show you a small excerpt of the machine in operation, but this should give you a reasonable idea of what's going on. So this here is actually the pre-coater. And I'll start the video and we'll pan to the left and I'll explain what you see. And you can see here that we've integrated a cooling tower. So the dryers and cooling tower are here. It goes over the top and then down into the actual Kodak Prosper press. So if we just start that off, if I can. benefits of technology. So what you can see to the left is a whip cleaner, and then that is a reel stand, an auto splice reel stand, and then an image of it going down into the Prosper press, which is just further down here. And on this one, we just get a little bit more of a view of the actual downstream printing system. So the Precoater is up here, the paper is coming down, and then it will flow down into these units here. Each of those are printing an inkjet color, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, then a turn bar, and then into the back side of the operation here, and then down into the finishing line. So that just gives you a little bit of a view of the kind of industrial nature of what we're talking about here. These images and drawings just give you a little bit of an idea of the size and scale of the equipment. So you can see the model here standing to the right of the drying system, which is in here, and the applicator and reverse calendar system are all located within this cabinet here. The paper is coming in at the bottom, being coated, going up, dried, and then into a cooling tower. So this cooling tower can be configured as a vertical, as you saw in the video, or in this example, we've actually designed it to go to right angle to save further space. And this is very interesting, where we can actually combine inkjet printing using the cooling tower itself. So again, saving further space and cost. So it's very small footprint. It's only about 2 meters, including the cooling tower at the right angle, and only around 8 feet in height. Some of the key considerations, or the general considerations when looking at inline priming, are firstly the speed. You know, what kind of speeds can we coat consistently at? Well, we've been doing it for over 4 years at around 300 meters per minute or 1,000 feet per minute. Then you look at the quality, you know, the quality of the coating applicator, the quality of the inkjet system. The primer really is there to optimize the surface so that the inkjet can achieve the highest quality and or the required quality and the look and feel of the product. By combining the Precoater, the primer, and the Memjet inkjet at 1600 DPI, we do achieve some fantastic results, some of them unmatched in the industry today. And then you look at the cost. When we compare some of the alternatives and available options to achieve the previous points of speed and quality, you really do see that the coater will actually drive those costs down, and that allows us to have more accessible volume due to the cost points with inkjet. And really, if we configure it inline and we prime inline, we really do take a lot of cost out of the manufacturing process when people are considering inkjet integrations. And then overall, you create new opportunities. You know, with inkjet integrations, you can open up new markets, new revenue streams, and you can further streamline your operation. If we look at some of the features of the Precoater, first of all, it's proven technology. It's been in the field for over 4 years. It has a patented reverse calendar process which smooths the paper surface or the substrate surface as it applies the actual coating itself. We've made it a very simple and manageable operation. We use a ceramic analux. We don't use flexo sleeves or anything like that. We control the coating weight as it is running using our own HMI, and we call it set and forget. Once you've got it set up and you're in production, you don't really need to be worrying about the coating or the Precoater after that. Call it low cost. It's a very quick ROI. When you compare the available options. We equipped it with very high efficiency drying, which it makes it the most sustainable Precoater that we know of. And that drives the running cost down significantly. And we are highly flexible. We can use it for aqueous or UV, pre or post coat configurations, and we can use it on paper, board, and films. These are all things that we are integrating with today. So I'm going to hand over to Susan in a minute or two. I'd just like to thank you for listening to that very short presentation. And if you want to know more, please reach out to me on the email provided or at simplyinkjet.com.